It's Christmas, my favorite time of the year. Today I'm going to show you how to create tags like these two, very shiny ones. So I'm going to show you on ScanNCut how to go from having something like this, stamped image, or in this case, which is this one, how to get this image cut from stamped images, how to get the offset cut, which should look like this, and then you're just going to glue it on top of the offset like this to make the tag, and also how to avoid the mistake I made, which was to, instead of getting this, I got this, which of course didn't help. Sorry about my fingers, but they're crafter fingers. So anyway, so I'm going to show you how to get it cut the right way, which is this way, not this. That's a mistake I made. How to go from this to this. So it's the time of the year, we need a lot of tags, and I am on it. So let's get to the tutorial. So here we are on ScanNCut. First thing we're going to do is to scan the paper. I already pressed here to load the paper, and we have two options, right? This one is not the one I'm going to use because I need to save the image that we're going to scan because I'm going to cut it twice. I'm using the same image to cut the out. Remember, the tag has like a red paper or a green paper, or whichever color you're going to use on the back. So we need this outline of the images to be saved so that we can cut twice. So direct cut is only if you're going to stamp and cut the image and be done with it. But if you're going to use the image again, which is the case, you click on the second option. Scan area, I usually leave it on 12 by 12. I don't mind that it scans the whole thing. And black and white. So we're going to start. Black and white, usually even when it's colored images, I leave it on black and white. It's usually good enough because it gives a lot of good definition. So I just leave it there. Now it's recognizing the image. And once it's done, what we're going to do is we're going to save it so that we can retrieve and use it later. There you go. This looks really nice to me. Now we have to select if we're going to cut just the outline, which is this one, inside too or not. So it's just the outline, that's what we want, good enough. We're going to pull this up to make sure that it's selecting only the images that we want to cut. That looks good enough for me. Let me just go a little bit further in. Looks good, see? The outline is really nice. This one is not showing for some reason. I wonder what happened with that one. There you go. Hey doggy. Okay, good now. What we're going to do is to get rid of this dirt here. And you do that by clicking on Ignore Object Size. And you keep going up until that disappears. But be careful not to erase the image you're going to cut, okay? It's still black. See, this one already disappeared, and most of these too. So just keep going. I think it's good enough now. You can see that it's very good here. It has all this outline, is perfect. That's because I did all the fixing. That's good enough. Good. And what's going to ask you now is where do you want to save the image? So we're going to save it on the machine. It should be number 27, I think. It gives you the number so that you can go back to it. Yes, that's fine. You go, okay, fine, keep going back. And it asks you, can I delete the scanned data? Yes, because it's already saved, okay? So you say, okay, but remember that, okay, we click on home now, but remember not to move your paper because we're going to retrieve the image in the machine and we're going to cut the paper. The paper has to be where it was before because otherwise it will cut, in a different place because you already told the machine where it is. So you click on home to go back to find that image that you saved. You say retrieve data and you say it's here. It's in the machine. I'm just going to go back to the last one And there it is, number 27. You say, fine, it looks all good to me. Click OK. OK, you don't need to add anything, and you're just going to tell your machine to cut, okay? Start. Wait until it does its magic. Let me just show you a little bit here. It's going to start cutting. I'm hoping that this image here, the big one, the doggies, I hope it works. We're gonna see, okay? I'm just gonna let the machine do its magic, and then I'll come back to show you what happened. Now ScanNCut has done its magic, so let's see how good a job it did or not. So here are the cut images, and as I told you, we do not need to add a border because we're going to add that paper on the back. Here's my dear dog that I absolutely love. So here's the dog. Let's see. Oh, I want to check on the tree. Let's see how that works, because this one is kind of intricate. Oh, perfect. Look at this. Wonderful. So, okay, so I'm going back to the machine, and I'm going to show you. What I'm going to do is just add red paper here to the back, and I'm going to the mat, and then I'll go back to the machine, and I'm going to cut the red paper so that it stays behind, and it adds that edge that's so nice for tags, okay? So just add the paper you're going to use for the back, load the paper on the machine, and let me show you what to do next. So we are here on ScanNCut now, and I already have my paper loaded, so do that before anything else. Let me just move this a little bit closer. There you go. All right, so what we're going to do is I clicked on home, and now I'm going to retrieve data. This is where we saved. I have to be away from this. So let's go to the last image. That's the one we want. And what we're going to do now is we want to make sure that we have the border, right? So the way we do that is we're going to select the image, click on Edit, Object Edit, and you have this image here, which is the offset option. So I'm going to do 10. 10 is good. There you go. Looks good to me. And what I do next is, because if you leave it as is, it's going to cut both images. So you're just going to have like that little thin line underlining it. You don't want that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bigger image, which is, this is the small one, right? So I'm going to actually, I say okay, and I'm going to delete the small one, because if you don't delete, you're going to have both and you're going to cut both, and it's not going to work. So go to the next one. You do the same thing for all of us. Add the 10. You can do it as thick as you want. 10 is good for me. So as soon as it looks right, and it does, see, it's a good border here, you make sure you select the big one. So you usually, when you put it back there, you know which one is the big. So you select the small one and you erase it, because you don't want it to be there, because you're just going to use the bigger one. So you just keep doing it with all your objects. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it looks good, and you say, yeah, I'm happy with that. So you're going to get the small one and delete. Same thing. So I'm not going to bother you. I already showed you 3 times, so I think that would be enough. Just one more. Offset 10, and you say, yeah, looks good to me. So you're going to move the small one. Make sure it's the small, and it's easy when you move, you know which one it is. Erase that. And here what I'm gonna do, and this is another tip for you, see that this one, for some reason I didn't erase this object here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to erase one of the dogs and I'm just going to multiply it. I'm gonna add another one just like this because it's the same stamp. Same thing, object, edit, and you click on plus and you say, okay, I want 2 of those. So that's fine. I should have enlarged it first. But anyway, I'm going to add the offset. Same thing, get the small one. Is that the small one or the big? That's the big one. So get the small, click on OK, erase the small. So you have the big. And I'm going to do the same. I can't be bothered to just do that again. So I'm just going to multiply this one because we know that's the small one, right? So erase the small. We know that this is the big one, sorry. And this is the last one. Okay, so let's just add the offset. There, cool, like it. So that's the small one, see? Delete, and that's that. So you are ready to go. So make sure you know where your paper is because this is a little bit larger and I know that mine is placed right underneath this second line here. So that's fine, that's fine. I'm just gonna move this up a little bit and that's it. So make sure that you have everything within the paper space that you have, okay? All good, all good. Please select, cut, and go. So now what we're cutting is just the larger images which will serve as the back of your tag, okay? I will not wait for the whole thing to happen, but just a little bit because I know that we like to see it. See, it's cutting the image a little bit larger than it was originally. I'll come back when it's done. And here we are. This tag is finished. So let me just show you. I colored it. You guys know that it's not my favorite thing, but it's colored. And that's the outline. I don't think next time I'll do 10 anymore. Sorry for all these colors on my fingers, but I can't get it off right now. So anyway, I would do it an 8. I think 8 would be more than enough. So this is the finished one. I'm just going to stamp to and from. And let me show you what I mean when I say that you have to delete one of the images, the smaller one, because otherwise this is what you get. Look at this. I made this mistake. So if you leave the smaller image and then the large image, ScanNCut cuts both of them, and then you end up with this and not the whole outline, which should look like something like this. That's what it should look like, and that's what we have here. So I'm just going to show you how to finish the tag, and let me give you a tip that I learned a while ago that it really helps when you have paper cut and you have all these edges here that don't look that good. What I do is I get a marker, the side that looks like this, and you actually just go around, all around the image, and you fix that. See, it looks much better now. So that's see here you have this edge. So if you just go around with a black marker, I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but just give you the tip, solves that problem. See, looks much better now. So that's what I do in most of my images when I have this white outline here that really doesn't look good. I don't know, call me a perfectionist. I just don't like the way it looks. So okay, so finished. That's finished. Let me just put this away. Let me just show you how to finish the tag. So here you are, put a little bit of glue. It doesn't look like a little. And you're just going to glue it together. Make a hole. So you have this beautiful Noel. And you're just going to place it to make sure that the offset is even. See, I do think that it's a little bit, if you get some glue, just wash it off, just get it off the paper. There you are. Make sure it's well glued, and then at the end you get a punch hole, one of these, that's the one I use. Make a little bit of a hole here, and then get the ribbon. This is how I do it. It's different for everyone, I guess. Sorry guys, my hands are horrible, but we're crafters, who cares, right? We've all been there. I actually washed my hands, it didn't really help. So there you go. 2 tags. That's how you do it on ScanNCut. And you can do a bunch depending on the stamps you have. I hope you learned a lot today, and this is the perfect time. I used some Wink of Stella, as you can tell, so it's a lot of shine here on my tags because I love it. Here's my dog. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you had fun and you learned and you make a huge number of tags. I'm going to do a lot because I have a lot of presents this year. Thank you guys. Have a good day.